Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the MadMaggs podcast. I'm here with Miguel, and we just got done seeing Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, the newest A24 movie directed by the Safdie brothers.
Yeah.
The last movie that they did was Good Times back in 2017, I believe, with Robert Pattinson.
Which I missed, which we need to watch.
Yeah, we did miss it, and our good friend Sasha, who's been on the podcast, really highly recommends it. So we really gotta check that out. But Uncut Gems, it has Adam Sandler, it has Kevin Garnett and The Weeknd's film debut, which they had
as themselves.
As themselves. So
no
I don't
less,
know. Yeah, it's a film debut, but they play themselves.
Can I just hit what the plot is of this movie in case people don't know?
Yeah, go ahead with the plot.
Well, I'm getting a kick out of IMDb's take on the plot. It says here, a charismatic New York City jeweler, always on the lookout for the next big score, makes a series of phone went black. Hold on. Makes a series of high stakes bets that could lead to the windfall of a lifetime. A charismatic New York jeweler. I guess that's the nicest way to characterize this person is charismatic. Really, he's
a swindler.
He's one of the worst human beings that could ever be a protagonist in any movie. And I've just watched American Psycho. Like, granted, this guy's not raping and killing anyone, but I mean, there's schmucks and there's putzes, and the word that sometimes sometimes people laugh at when I use this schlemiel. He's none of those things. He's worse than all those things. I mean, he's a horrible, horrible person.
So let's get into it. This is going to be a full spoiler review, by the way. This movie came out right before Christmas. So this will be just a full spoiler review. We're not going to do a non-spoiler review.
It came out right before the Oscars. Let's just go ahead and say it. I think that's what it was about. The time of the year that it came out.
Yeah, that's another thing. But I didn't see it really get nominated for anything. So
wait, have the nominations come out for the Golden Globes?
Yes, but not the Oscars.
Okay. If he gets nominated for an Oscar, I'm not going to be surprised. And
we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what happens is that Adam Sandler, he sells jewelry at his shop. It's kind of like a pawn shop. I got the impression, but I think it's more high stakes than that. A lot of jewelry. And he has this guy that brings in these high profile clients, Lakeith Stanfield. He is from Get Out. It was also
Sorry to Bother You.
Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
He was also, his other movie that he was just in was Knives Out. He played one of the lieutenants that comes in.
The cop. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. Well, he's the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Or detective in the movie. So. But he brings high profile clients in, and his newest high profile client was Kevin Garnett. Sorry. I don't watch basketball, so I mean, I have a hard time remembering these things.
So please forgive Maggie. She's an NFL fan, not an NBA fan.
Anyway, exactly. So, but anyway, so he came in, and we already have gotten the impression that he owes somebody named Arnold. His Arnold Suggs came by his office and says that he needs his $100,000. So he already owes somebody $100,000 at the beginning of the movie, and he owes him $100,000. They take money from him, and they take his watch, and it's apparently his watch was a $20,000 watch, and he calls Arnold. Arnold's not answering, and he tells him that he wants that deducted from his money. And he's on the biggest deal of a lifetime that is going to, turn everything around for him. So the big thing that we find out whenever Kevin is there is that the big thing that's going to turn it around is this black opal rock, an uncut gem that he got from Ethiopia. The movie opens in Ethiopia.
It does open in Ethiopia, which I'm really glad they did. When you see the trailer for this movie, you think it's just going to be a very high-paced gangster film about a Jewish jeweler in New York. And there's a part of me that hoped, I really hope they have the balls to address the sort of the blood racket that the diamond ring is. The movie opens up in Ethiopia with one of the
workers getting hurt.
Workers getting hurt severely, legs split open, bone sticking out. And so it really sets the tone of the movie. It's going to be a really honest movie about what the jewelry industry is, you know.
Yeah. And so basically, he shows this gem, the black opal, to Kevin,
which he had no business doing, showing it to Kevin Garnett. He was just flexing nuts. He was
flexing nuts. Well, and then he smuggled it in because it came in a box of fish.
Yeah,
there are several fish in there, and this dude is in Adam Sandler's office trying to tell him that he's quit. He's done with these thugs. They tore his shirt, like he's done. It's over. And Adam Sandler is not paying any attention to him whatsoever.
No.
And the dude's like, I've been here for 8 years. You're not even paying attention to me. Like, and Adam Sandler is just he's putting his hands in these big ass fish. And eventually he gets this item out of the belly of one of the fish. And it's
this monster opal that feels it hasn't even been fully chiseled away. There's still rock on it.
It's a big rock. And basically, he said that he watched this
History Channel documentary.
Yeah, this History Channel, Discovery Channel, whatever, and it showed the Ethiopian guys that are in these mines, and they're mining these gems. And so he spent 17 months trying to get this black opal, and it's worth over $1 million. So that's what he priced it as. So
that's what he thinks his big break is in this whole movie. His whole story revolves around getting this uncut gem sold so he can hit the big time and get all these people he owes money off his back.
It's sold in a big auction too. And so, Kevin's there, he's looking at this and he's like, I have to have it, man. Like, I have to have it. Like, I just feel a connection to it. And he, stupidly, he's like, he doesn't want to give it up, but Kevin's like, come on, man, you showed it to me for a reason. You got to let me have it just for 24 hours. Let me take it to the game. He had a game that night, and this is all set also back in 2012 as well.
Yeah, it takes place in 2012.
And so all of this is going on. And so Adam Sandler's character lets Kevin have it. And so Kevin has it. And he said that I'm going to, for collateral, I'm going to take your Celtics ring. And so he takes the Celtics ring. Immediately after getting that ring and Kevin leaving, he takes it to another pawn shop and pawns it for
so he can place the bet and make a big
on the Celtic game.
On the Celtic game itself, yeah.
What a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. I could not believe it whenever I was watching it. So I mean, early on you're just like, like he's a swindler. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but he's like big time douchebag. Like, because he has to get that back because Kevin's supposedly bringing back the black opal back the next day at 9 a.m. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, in the first act, we get an idea of who this guy is, and immediately we can tell. And by the end of the movie, I already knew it. With certainty too. This is the most unlikable, cringy.
So cringy
protagonist I can remember seeing in a movie in a very, very long time. Even by the standards of Adam Sandler, usually when he plays a cringy character, it's somebody by the end of the movie maybe we like the Water Boy. The Water Boy's funny. It's satire. It's not meant to be taken seriously. This is a drama. And Adam Sandler's playing this horrible human being that we just want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
And yet, I think that how I felt different from the rest of the audience that we were watching this with is I ended up caring about his arc by the end of the movie. I mean, there were so many scenes that were just so hard to watch with him being a swindler and his interactions with others, people that he keeps just screwing and digging himself into this deeper and deeper hole. But by the third act, that's why I'm going to defend this movie, is because I was invested. The storytelling here for me was good enough to where I actually gave a shit for some weird reason as to what happens with this guy and his family, Oh,
well, since you want to defend the movie, tell me why did they shoot him at the end? What was the point of that? What was the point of shooting him and then also shooting Arnold at the end?
His arc was over. He won in the end. It cost him his life, but he won in the end. I mean, his arrogance caught up to him. The guys that he owed money to were so sick and tired of his bullshit and everything he had done. At the end, it wasn't about the money anymore. They watched him win the big game in the end. He got the money that he owed them, and he got the money that's going to basically could set him for the rest of his life up, him and his wife. Okay, he's good to go. They still killed him because they were so sick of who he was as a person. He burned them out. And there was a really funny scene in the third act where the main guy who he owes money to is just sitting there looking sad. He's broken. Adam Sandler's character manages to emotionally break this man.
Are you talking about Arnold?
Yeah, Arnold, the main guy he owed money to. And he's just sitting there broken. We've beaten your ass. We've hung you from a ledge. We've threatened to kill you. We've implied we're going to hurt your family. And you're still fucking us. You're still screwing us over. And so at the end of the movie, Arnold's broken. But his muscle is the guy who ends up killing Adam Sandler because he snaps.
He absolutely snaps. And he snaps before getting the $1 million from the girl.
Yeah.
Without securing that. So it was just a dumb fucking move. It didn't make any sense. It would have made sense if they would have caught her and,
taken the money. We're taking all this money,
yes.
Not just the 100,000 and 100.5 that you owe us now, but the $1 million is ours.
It didn't make any sense to kill them both at the end. It didn't make any damn sense.
But in defense of the writing of the movie, Arnold was the only intelligent person in the movie. There were so many scenes. I'm glad they added this nuance to it when they were beating the shit out of Adam Sandler's character. And Arnold did look kind of sad because I think that what Arnold,
he was family.
He was distant. It's like an in-law.
Yeah.
I think he was his father-in-law's kid or his father-in-law's nephew. So when they're having the no,
he was.
I don't think it was Passover. It was some type of Jewish festival they were at. Arnold was there. The guy who beats the shit out of him or have his men beat the shit out of him in the first act is at that damn table.
Yeah.
So he is a relative. And so I'm glad they added that nuance to it. It wasn't just some big Italian guy who he owes money to that is going to keep beating the shit out of him. No, it's a member of his family technically. And it's a guy who, even when he's getting stuffed in the trunk, getting the crap beaten out of, they show Arnold looking kind of sad, looking like, why do you make me do this? What are you doing? And I'm glad that the guy who Adam Sandler owes money to in the movie, Howard, isn't some one-dimensional villain. They didn't pick some Guido or just some Jewish guy like on Drive, which I love Drive. I'm not casing on that movie. But Arnold wasn't a one-dimensional character. And he could have easily been, if this was another movie, he could have been like a Joe Pesci type that's just like, I want my money, man. We've heard that 1 million times. We don't need to hear it again. Arnold had a lot of nuance to him. I think he had a lot of dimension to him. I felt sorry for Arnold. Arnold's he just wanted his money. He could have killed Adam Sandler, and he didn't. He keeps giving him a chance. He keeps screwing him over. At the end of the movie, I wanted poor Arnold to get his freaking money and to just be able to walk away.
He's not a very good gangster then.
He's not
don't give your family money, period. I don't
150 million people. They're going to be like, what are you talking about?
I don't care. I don't care how much money you have. You don't give your family money. You don't give your family money, if you don't expect to be paid back. If you expect to be paid back, don't give it to them because that's bullcrap and it's going to put you in a bad situation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I don't care if you are broke or if you come from a rich-ass family like he did. Don't do it.
I agree with you halfway. I think don't give your family money that you should know better. Like there are certain family members I would never give money to.
I don't know. I just want to go past that because as far as you can tell, I did not enjoy the movie as much as Miguel did.
For context, the bar was set really high for you. I mean, you admit that too.
Ever since I saw the first trailer, I was like, this movie is going to be fucking brilliant. It's going to be brilliant. Here's the comeback of Adam Sandler. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. And it was, to me, a straight trash. I'm gonna be honest. It's just some bullshit. It is not.
Was your biggest problem in the movie that I think a lot of the audience, I was listening to them. We saw this at Studio Movie Grill. We didn't see it at Alamo. So a lot of people were talking. People feel a lot more liberal about talking at SMG than other places. And when I was listening to the audience next to me, they were just like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? They seemed really annoyed by not only Adam Sandler's actions in the movie, but the movie as a whole. I could tell they were frustrated by it.
The movie dragged. And it was just like, okay, here's how much of a bigger asshole he can be. Here's how much of a bigger asshole he can be. But, I mean, why even have the scenes of him being at the doctor, the second damn scene? Because the first time we meet Adam Sandler, he's getting a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
And then later in the movie, it's the doctor telling him, oh, you're fine. What was the whole point of that? Absolutely nothing towards the plot. It's dumb.
The movie,
those are one of those filler scenes that are just like.
I don't think it was a filler scene because
absolutely
the movie opened up with him getting a colonoscopy because it's who he is. He's an old guy. I mean, it
doesn't matter. It had nothing to do with the plot.
What I'm saying is it's showing what kind of character it opened up, showing his vulnerability. As far as we know, the first scene we meet this guy again, he's getting a colonoscopy. He just looks like some old dad on the table. Okay, so when we first see him, it's introducing us to his vulnerability, I think. No. And the reason that got brought up later is because he's juggling all this crap in his life.
The crap that he caused.
He did. He absolutely caused it, but they're not apologizing for that whatsoever. No, they're not making excuses for this character.
You're making excuses, and I don't appreciate it.
I'm making an argument for the writers.
It's a filler scene, and I don't appreciate filler scenes. So if it doesn't have anything to do with the plot, it doesn't have to go in there.
Do you think the scenes between him and Idina Menzel were fillers? When he was talking about their divorce?
God for Idina Menzel is she's the only one calling him out on his bullshit. He's the only one that he can't she's the only smart one. Like, granted, she fell in love with him at one point or another, had 2 kids, was married to him.
17 years ago, because I think the daughter's 17.
Yeah, so but still, but at some point she wised up, and he's just like, in the same fucking day, the same hour, probably the same freaking 15 minutes that he dumps his stupid hoe girlfriend, he's trying to go back to Idina Menzel, and Idina Menzel is like, you can fuck right off. And thank God for her. Thank God for Idina Menzel's character, okay? She's like, he's like, you can just punch me if you want. Just look in my eyes. And she's like looking at his eyes, and she's like, I don't want fucking anything to do with you. And I love it. You look so
dumb.
You look so pathetic and stupid. And he's like, do you want to hit me? You can fucking hit me. And she acts like she's going to hit him. And she's like, I don't even want to touch you. Like, she doesn't even want to hit him. She doesn't even want to hit him.
She absolutely wants nothing to do with him, which is understandable. Yes. I empathize with anyone in the audience, including yourself. If you felt like every single time Idina Menzel's character came on screen, you were coming up for oxygen. I get that.
But I don't think that this movie is revolutionary in any type of way. I don't think it was a great movie at all. I think it was just I don't
think it's revolutionary either. I think
it was just an okay movie. There's nothing to write home about. It's really sad that Adam Sandler thinks that this is the movie that's going to win him an Oscar.
I don't know if he thinks that. People are saying it for a reason.
He did. He made a big stink saying that I better get nominated for an Oscar for this movie. Nah, bruh. This is not it. This is not the movie. This is not it.
I think he did a great job in the movie, but I mean, truth be told, I see better performances on HBO all the time. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this wasn't. I don't agree this was Oscar worthy either, but I am saying that I understand why people are saying that about this movie and him, because this is
the same person that he plays in almost all his movies, and I don't agree with that. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the movie that this reminds me, like, his character reminds me of his character from Bulletproof, Moses, the fast talking dude that tries to get himself out of trouble all the time. It's the exact same
this
character.
This is Moses age 50?
This is Moses age 50, still up to the same old bullshit, and still trying to fucking fuck around with the black dude and swindle him, get him out of trouble all the fucking time. But so like, oh, but I'm your friend. It's the same goddamn thing, but you're trying to put it in a drama movie, and he's trying to say he should win a fucking Oscar for it. No, he shouldn't win an Oscar. This was a trash movie. I did not like it.
Surely there's something in between his acting sucking and his acting deserving an Oscar. I think that his acting was pretty damn good in this movie. Do I think that does he deserve an Oscar win? Absolutely not.
It's the same from 1996 whenever Bulletproof came out.
I don't agree that it's the same character. I mean, I would even, the biggest criticism I can say about this movie is his character could be considered an offensive caricature of New York Jewish jewelers.
Yeah.
And I think that's still very different from Moses and Bulletproof. I think that Moses had a sense of humor. He had a great sense of humor, and he was perverted. He was funny. This guy's not any of those things. He doesn't have a great sense of humor.
Adam Sandler's sense of humor in this movie was fucking people over.
There was no sense of humor in this movie. He wasn't like Moses because Moses was funny and had a good sense of irony. This guy doesn't. He's just a schmuck.
It's the same character.
I don't think I strongly disagree that it's the same character.
So,
fast-talking Adam Sandler.
He's a fast-talking Adam Sandler in every movie that he's in. And this movie is no different. Like, you can say
He wasn't fast talking Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer or The Water Boy.
Not The Water Boy.
Not in The Wedding Singer either. He was a vulnerable, sad guy, and he wasn't in Punch Drunk Love.
Great. So you brought up a couple of examples.
I can't believe you're making me defend Adam Sandler to this extent when I spent the last 7 years shitting on the guy.
Listen, I was so excited for this movie. I'm telling you, I was so excited for this movie. I was excited for Adam Sandler because everything I saw in the trailer looked great. But you throw it all together, it's a hot fucking mess. So that's my review. That's my review. I'm sorry.
You're not even giving it a rental. Are you giving it some old bullshit?
No, I'm saying it's a skip it. Okay. Don't see it. It's not worth your time.
Damn.
It's like,
this is our biggest disagreement of the year. Because I
don't know. We haven't seen Cats yet.
Shit, that's tomorrow night, folks.
Sorry, I'm recovering from being sick. So.
Damn, and you're going to use Cats tomorrow to say that it was even better than this movie.
I mean, it might be. Damn it.
Yeah,
I'm
for you.
So mad at this. I'm so mad at it.
I think the reason you're so mad is because the bar was set really, really high for you, and I think my bar was a little bit lower for this movie.
I don't think so. I think that I can appreciate. I appreciate the story. It's an original story. I get it, but I just it's just not. I don't think it's worthy of any of the hype that it's getting. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it is. Again, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. I don't even think I should say this, but I wanted to say I don't think it's worth the 92% that it's getting.
I'm so tired of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't want to talk about Rotten Tomatoes on the channel anymore.
Okay. Well, then fuck that website. We don't have to mention it again. But then let me say something else. I don't think that it does deserve the extent, I will admit, of critical praise that it's getting. And I empathize with anyone who was frustrated by the movie, by the main character, and felt like this movie was a hot mess. There were most of the movie is a hot mess. It's watching this cringy character dig himself deeper and deeper in a hole, and you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? But
I think if the ending would have been different, I would have enjoyed it more.
What would you have wanted on the ending? What could have made this movie redeemable for you in terms of the ending?
I wish the bastards would have secured the $1 million and not left it with the dumb bitch at the end.
They didn't know because the guy.
They had the dudes there waiting to get her
because
They didn't see a guy walking out with 2 big old duffel bags and thinks, oh, maybe this bitch got somebody to get the money for her. Are you serious? Like these got to be the worst dudes of all time that are trying to collect money from people.
No, these guys are muscle. They're not geniuses. They were ordered to find that broad, his hoe, and snatch the money from her, snatch her, maybe kill her. We don't know. They didn't pay attention to the old guy at the end with the wig, taking off with the 2 duffel bags. Again, this is muscle. They're not meant to be smart.
They could have followed him, whatever. They could have followed. Never mind. I'm done. I'm not talking about it anymore. Like I said, if they would have secured the girl, Adam Sandler's, hoe girlfriend that he went back to after Idina Menzel, of course, turned him down because he's a douchebag, that if they would have probably secured the money, then I probably wouldn't have had a problem, because then I would have been like, oh, they were in it the whole time just trying to get the money, and they were tired of Arnold being being sweet on Adam Sandler's character because he's family. I get it. He is tired of it, but they don't. They just ransacked the damn pawn shop.
They lost it.
Yeah, they lost it. They took
all
lost
their shit at the end because of him.
They're on fucking camera. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, that was
their
dumb
fingerprints are everywhere.
Yeah, they just lost it.
Like, it's dumb. But whatever.
There's very, very few intelligent people in this movie. The only 2 people that I think were intelligent were Arnold and Idina Menzel's character. Everyone else was an idiot.
I don't know.
I mean, the muscle were freaking idiots. They were schmucks. The way they were talking in the beginning, the way they treated him, the way they talked to each other. These guys, I mean, they're criminals and thugs for a reason. They don't know how to do anything else.
So what is your review?
I give it a very, very, very strong rental, almost a matinee.
All right.
I give it, or maybe I will give it a light matinee because of Adam Sandler's performances, because of Idina Menzel's performance. The kids in the movie did a damn good job. That's so petty. But that was me during Knives Out, so okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So yeah, okay,
But if you disagree with me, you can feel free to tell me all about it in the comments, like I'll always do anyways. But
so no, my official review is a very, very light matinee.
All right. And mine is a skip. So skip it, or you can go to matinee. take a friend, and then y'all can talk about it and see who's right. Y'all come back to this review and be like, who was right? So y'all might disagree with it too. I'm just saying.
You're that confident people are going to agree with you that the movie is stupid.
I'm not confident because obviously I'm in the minority as far as
not in the audience. I will concede the audience left pissed.
The audience was mad. Like there was at least like 4 or 5 people that got up before the end of the movie and left.
Yeah, like they had kind of a feeling the movie was over, and they were just like, ugh. They made that sound, ugh, and they left.
Yeah,
people were pissed.
So I'm just saying. So I'm not alone, but critics love it. I looked at a couple of reviews on IMDb. People there love it, and they're like, "Oh, it was adrenaline all the way through." No, it was pure annoyance. And
I was at the edge of my seat during the third act basketball game. I was.
Well, I guess if it was a football game, I would have been, more. I would have enjoyed it more.
Oh, whatever. You would. You don't know when someone scores in basketball?
I do, but I don't care about basketball. So, sorry guys out there, I don't care about basketball.
Anyways,
I'm sorry. Like,
so was this your biggest disappointment of the year? You think there was another movie that you were disappointed by? Midsummer, and then Knives Out. We were disappointed by, but I think is this the one you were the most disappointed by? So obviously the most frustrated by.
This is the one that I've been super excited about for months.
Yeah,
like whenever the trailer came out, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I get excited about any A24 movie. I'm like, yes.
We should know by now that shouldn't.
I know. Well, and then Midsummer was an A24 movie, but I mean, again, I was in the minority on that too about my opinion on that. So.
Wasn't Inheritance? What's the movie called? Heredity. Was Heredity A24? Because it felt like an A24 movie.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
A24, I'm telling you, man, I love them as a distributor. I think they find some real gems, no pun intended here. But they're hit and miss. I'm not gonna lie, they really are.
And this was a miss. I know, but he disagrees.
Yes, I disagree.
So anyways, all right. Well, if you see the movie, let us know what you think about it in the comments. You can feel free to disagree with me or Miguel. But mostly me. It's all good. But thanks everybody for listening to our spoiler review of Uncut Gems. Like I said, leave a comment down below letting us know what you think of the movie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave us a comment down below. And feel free to like and share this video. And please subscribe. It's free. It's at the end of the year. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to our channel because we have a lot of stuff coming out soon. We're going to have the Cats review, 1917. We're also going to have Dark Waters. We saw that a while ago, but have yet to do the review on it. I'm so sorry. Holidays, you know. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you again next time.